Hey guys, how you doing? Ron Raymond here from the Ron Raymond Sports Betting Podcast, which you can see live every Tuesday and Thursday right here on our YouTube channel. Hope you're having yourself a good start to your Fun Day Sunday, and hopefully Super Saturday was good to you. In fact, Super Saturday for the bullpenpicks.com gang. You can see there Ken Driver went 8-6. Yours truly, Ron Raymond, went 9-5 with our selections yesterday. Scott Christensen is 7-7. Those are your top scorers right now at bullpenpicks.com. Folks, sign up today. It's free to play, free to enter, and you can follow the top baseball pickers each and every day right here at bullpenpicks.com. Got a lot of good games here today. Got a doubleheader at Citi Field between the Guardians and the New York Mets. In fact, the nightcap, the game of the ESPN Game of the Week, Cleveland against the New York Mets, Verlander against Bieber, should be a great matchup, pitching matchup right there. What we're going to do here today, guys, is we're going to look over the scorecard for Sunday, May 21st, and hopefully we can find you guys some pearls in the pearl box. And looking at my last 100 selections, you can see I'm hitting 55%, which is pretty good. Yesterday, again, 9-5, and we're going to go through all the games here today. We got an 11:35 start in Cincinnati between Hunter Green and Luis Severino, and we're going to take a look at some of these games. All right, so before we get to the games, always we're going to look at have our finger on the pulse of the markets, and you can see we're in a neutral market. Favorites and underdogs, you can see here the last 7 days, it's been a heavyweight fight. You know, underdogs take one day, the favorites take the next day, and normally the year-to-date average on the favorites should be around 60%. We're 3% under, so you know what? Neutral market. I'm still waiting for the favorites to really go on a really crazy run like they did here in the middle of April. You can see April 14th right to the 29th. The favorites really dominated. And then the underdogs came back and swinging. And then we're here in a day-to-day battle between the favorites and underdogs. So I'm starting to see, waiting to see for the favorites to start making a run here. Over-under, you can see bookmakers right tight with their numbers, 50 and 49, so basically a coin flip when it comes to the over-under, and same thing on the run line. All right, also, let's see who's who in the zoo, and you can see the A, B's, and C's. A-type teams in the Raymond Report, teams 60% or higher, those are your alphas. The B's are the 50 to 59.9, those are your average Joes and Janes. And C-type teams, those are teams below 500, and you know the rule. They're like an old high school sweetheart. You know they're going to break your heart eventually when you bet them all the time. So be careful betting on those C-type teams. In fact, the only C-type teams that we're making a run right now, White Sox and the Cardinals, the only C-type team that have a market confidence level that is bullish, and it's at 71%. So if you like the Cardinals and the White Sox, we'll see today. We'll handicap those games. The neutrals, a lot of teams are neutral, and you look here, the A, B's, and C's. And the 18 teams, Tampa Bay's neutral, Baltimore having a good run here in Toronto, LA, the Dodgers, and Atlanta. Took the L last night in the ATLA, no pun intended there, but they took a loss, and no A-type teams that are bearish. So that's always amazing when I see that. All right, let's get to the today's scorecard. Also, what I'm going to do here today, guys, is this is my other website called atscalculator.com. I love this site for totals, and I'm going to give you the total in every game today. I went through the scorecard and the Yankees Cincinnati. So what you want to do at this site, you go to MLB. It's a numbers crunching site, right? So you go to Yankees and you go to Cincinnati, then you create the ATS results. It's really good for football too. And then you go down here, 8.99, just a hair under 9. So we'll see if it's a game of inches, they say all the time in sports. So we'll see if that 0.001 comes into play here today at the Great American Ballpark. All right, let's get to my selections today, and we'll go to the first game, Yankees and the Cincinnati Reds. Now looking at the starting pitcher, Luis Severino against Hunter Green. And the thing I showed you guys yesterday, what I'm doing is I'm going through the last 2 weeks, and shopper value, play to percentages, team performance, player performance cycles, and the Yankees 11-5 now the last 2 weeks. Cincinnati 6-8, and Yankees 13-2 against those C-type teams below 500. I like the Yankees here today. The only thing I don't like is that 11:35 start. And but we're going to go Severino and company and give me the Yankees 56%. Seattle taking on the Atlanta Braves. Now, Seattle got the big W last night. And today, George Kirby up against Jared Schuster. Now, when I look at this game here, I'm looking at Atlanta really 6-7 in the last 2 weeks. So Atlanta win one, lose one, neutral market. Neutral just means that a team is 4-3, 3-4 in the last 7 games. But I do have the Atlanta Braves here today on my my scorecard. Even though the percentage play does favor Seattle at 49.03, George Kirby having a pretty good year. In fact, what did I see his record at? 5-2, 2.45 ERA up against the lefty in Schuster. But you know what? I got a lot of respect for the Braves. I think they bounced back tonight after that butt kicking last night. And give me Atlanta, but very, very low confidence, 52%. It won't be a strong play for me. Next game, Chicago against Philadelphia. Big win last night for Philly. Was it 12-5 or something like that? 12-1. They put a 12 spot on the Cubbies, but the Cubbies going to send their best pitcher today, Justin Steele, 6-1, 2.4 ERA. And looking at the Cubbies, 5-9 last 12, but 10-3-1 to the over. So a lot of high-scoring games for the Cubs last 2 weeks. And looking at their records against C-type teams, so you got C on C-type crime here today. And when you look at the Cubbies, they are 14-8 against those C-type teams, while the Phillies 14-12. You know, I'm still waiting for the Phillies to make that run, right? You go to the World Series last year, and you got a below 500 record. I'm just waiting for the Phillies to make that run, but not today against Steele. I'm going with the man of Steel, Justin Steele, 54%. Arizona, Merrill Kelly. Hey, sounds like a law firm, Merrill Kelly, or a broker firm. Going up against Rosie Contreras. Now, this game here, I was up and back and forth. Also, I forgot to give you the total on those games. Remember, I said I'd give you those totals. Cincinnati Cubbies, Chicago and Philadelphia, 9.52. So we like it over the total. And so there you go. The Seattle Atlanta. Where's my Seattle Atlanta? 8.78. So. You know what? I'll come back after and I'll give you guys the total of the ATS calculator, so this way I don't get off track here. All right, let's get this train back on the tracks. And Arizona, so against Pistons, had a nice comment in the section. Hey, don't go against Keller yesterday. You know what? It wasn't a play really against Keller. It's just Arizona is a really good baseball team, and I thought the B-type team that would bounce back, and sure enough, they did. But today we're gonna go right back to the well. Arizona now 9-6. Last 2 weeks were Pittsburgh 4-9. Pittsburgh, off that great start, but then struggling right now, right? And for both these teams, B-type teams, 5-5 for Pittsburgh against those teams with a 50 to 59.9. 6-5 for Arizona. Arizona bullish 4 days, so that means they've been 5-2, 6-1, 7-0 in their last 7 start. And I'm gonna go Arizona in this one with the law firm of Merrill Kelly or Merrill Lynch. Maybe that's why I'm thinking Merrill Lynch. Hey, let's make some money with Merrill Kelly today. All right, Detroit against Washington. And looking at my numbers here, Detroit 7-6. Washington got the W yesterday. Today, Washington going to send to the hill Josiah Gray against Joey Wentz. And looking at both these teams, Detroit 7-6 last 2 weeks. Washington 5-9, 7-6-1 to the over. I'm going to go with the underdog in this one. I'm going right back to Detroit. I know I went there yesterday, lost, but we're going to go right there. All right, Baltimore against the Gossman. Yeah, Kevin Gossman going today for the Toronto Blue Jays. Blue Jays 24-21 on the season. Not after a really good start, really having a rough time against those American League East teams. Right? They had the Yankees earlier this week. Now they get Baltimore, so they're just probably happy to see another team from the other than the American League East. Dean Kremer going to go here today for the Toronto Blue Jays. Kremer. Here's the thing with Kremer. He's 5-1 on the year, but he's got a bloated ERA of 4.94. That's the only thing I don't like about this situation. I'm going to go with Gossman in this one here, even though he hasn't had a home win yet this year. We're going to go Toronto. I think Toronto will bounce back today. And you know what? Tough loss for the Blue Jays yesterday, and we'll see how they do. I'm going to go Blue Jays 55%. Freddie Peralta going up against Jalen Beeks and the Toronto Rays. Hey, the Toronto wish they played like the Rays. Tampa Bay Rays, Jalen Beeks, and you know what? Tampa Bay at home, they are just unstoppable. Okay, 21-3 straight up at home this year against the B-type teams. The Milwaukee against those A-type teams, 2-6, while the Tampa Bay Rays at home 8-7 against the B-type teams this year at home, 21-3, and they are 8-7 in the last 2 weeks, 9-6 to the over. And I like the over in this one, and really it's a play against Peralta, even though he has a good record. In fact, when I look at Freddie's record, 4-3, a 4.1 ERA, but look at this on the road, 0-2 with a 7.16 ERA on the road. Give me the Tampa Bay Rays today. I'm going to go Rays at pretty much 60%, 61, but I think the over is where you cash that ticket today if you're betting that game. Kansas City against Chicago White Sox. Lance Romance Lynn going up against Carlos Hernandez. And you know what? Don't look now. White Sox 8-7 last 2 weeks, 4-9-2 to the under, and they are 11-13 at home. Starting to put a good run here. Kansas City 6-9 in their last 2 weeks, 5-10-0 to the under. I like the under in this one here. I'm going to give that to my members today at ATS Stats. So give me Chicago White Sox 55%. Oakland taking on Houston. Won't spend a lot of time on this one. 63%. Dodgers and the St. Louis Cardinals. There you go. I think Jack Flaherty going up against Clayton Kershaw with the lefty Kershaw. 6-3, 2.52 ERA. Where the old veteran Jack Flaherty, 3-4, 5.24 ERA. Big win last night. I think 6-5 last night for the Cardinals. And today the Dodgers. I'm going to go Dodger Blue. And don't look now. Both these teams 10-5 the last 2 weeks. St. Louis playing their best baseball of the year, but the bad news is they're playing one of the top teams in the bigs, and that's the LA Dodgers. Give me Kershaw over Flaherty today in St. Louis. Colorado taking on Texas. I'm going to go with the Texas Rangers in this one. In fact, Texas 10-5 last 2 weeks, 9-4-2 to the over. I was looking at the over, but I don't trust Colorado can do their part to give us some more overs. You know, that's one thing with totals, right? You like a team, but you look at the other team, it's like, you know what, can you guys pull your weight and give us some runs here? But yeah, I'm not going to trust them today. I like Texas, and I'm going to go Texas pretty big, 61%. Miami taking on San Francisco. Good. What a matchup yesterday. 1-0 was the final. Hey, that was like a soccer score from the Premier League. Jesus Luzardo against Alex Wood. And I really spent a lot of time on this game here. I wasn't sure where I was going to go. I was him and Han over which team. But bottom line, I'm going to go with the B-type team. I'm going to go with Miami. And normally Miami, when they play teams below 500, they're 11-5. Bullish one day. And I'm going to go with Miami. Give me plus 105 with Jesus Luzardo over Alex Wood. Alex Wood, yeah, I don't think he's got a... Yeah, he hasn't... I looked at his stats this morning. He hasn't, zero... He doesn't get past the fourth inning almost. Hey, you got to get to the fifth inning to get a W. Or even, a loss. Oh, no, a loss, you can take a loss without going to fifth inning. But, yeah, 3 innings, 4.2, 2.1, 4.2. So... You know what? Just a spot pitcher, right? Maybe he's I'll have to check to see if he's a bullpen guy. Sometimes they do. They pull the bullpen pitcher for a couple innings when somebody in the rotation is on the gimp. All right, so yeah, I'm gonna go for Miami with Jesus Luzardo. Pablo Lopez, former Marlins pitcher, up against Shohei Ohtani. And you know what? I know Ohtani is he's the real deal, but looking at inside the numbers, they're 6-9 the last 2 weeks. 10-5 to the over. Minnesota 7-7. Minnesota got the win last night. And looking at some of the other numbers, nothing really from an analytical point of view that's really crushing it. I'm going more value today. I think minus. I had my line on this game was minus 120, and bookmakers are trying to make you pay 150. So give me Minnesota. Take the run line. Take Pablo Lopez on the run line, and I'm going to go 56%. Boston. Corey Kluber up against Michael Wacha, former Boston Red Sox, so a couple of teammates maybe. No, Kluber wasn't there last year, I don't think, right? But yeah, I'm going to go, here's the thing. You got a sinking ship right now in San Diego, and anytime you get a team that's struggling and it's just, meeting after meeting, it's just, that's what I call the sinking ship. Give me 54% with the, and you know what, maybe the unders. I think the unders where you cash that ticket. That was our 5-star play last night, the under in the Boston, San Diego with Sell and Musgrove, so we cashed that one there. And we're going to go the Sunday night ESPN Sunday night game of the week between Justin Verlander and Shane the Bieber. And I'm going with Verlander in this one, 56%. Not really. Mets a B-type team, but 18-12 against C-type teams, where the Cleveland Guardians 7-9 against the Bees. But neutral 14 days, so that's the only thing that's really not making them a members play for me today, because Cleveland 14 days neutral, meaning win one, lose one, 4-3, 3-4 the last 14 days. So I think you got to be careful with that. And I'm going to go 55% on the Mets. Click the save, and then don't forget, follow the top pickers here each and every day. You can see that on time. He is on time 34. He's on time today and getting his picks in, and those are my selections. So what you want to do, once you make your picks and you follow the best pickers, go see what their picks are and compare them with yours. So if I look at on time 34 with his Miami Vice, that was one of my favorite shows during the 80s when I was in high school. Tubbs and Crockett, remember those guys? Houston, Atlanta. Okay, Cubbies at Arizona. One different so far. Yeah, look at that. Three different with the on time. Wow, he's got Miami, but Lopez as his best pitched goal pick. I got Houston, Tampa, and Atlanta, my gold, silver, and bronze selection. And on time's got Miami, Cubs, and the Rays. Wow, he's got the Rays as a bronze pick. Interesting. Very, very interesting. All right, so there you have it. That is the Raymond Report, Ron Raymond Sports Betting Podcast. Don't forget, you can follow. Oh, yeah, you know what? I forgot to tell you guys, right? I was going to give you my ATS calculator over-unders of the day. Hey, I didn't leave you hanging. 8.99 between the Yankees and Cincinnati. Cubs, Philadelphia, 9.52, so we'd like it to go over. Detroit, Washington, I got 8.27, so we'd like it to go under. Seattle, Atlanta, 8.78, so we got it going under. Arizona, Pittsburgh, 8.82, so we do have it going a hair over the total. Baltimore, Toronto, 8.72, so we have it going over. Milwaukee, Tampa Bay, 8.56, so another over. Cleveland, New York Mets, so double headers. I don't touch double headers. One of my golden rules, I don't bet double headers. Kansas City, Chicago White Sox, 8.52. I like the under in that game. Oakland, Houston, 8.81. LA, Dodgers, St. Louis, 9.43. So that's the one there with a couple of veterans going. I don't know. But you know what? The people see Kershaw and they'll probably think under, so maybe the public perception sways it to the under. Maybe that's why we got an 8.5 as the total. Colorado, Texas, I got 9.9 as the over-under, so a lot of overs today. And but we're in a neutral market for the over-unders. Miami, San Fran, 8.26. Minnesota, LA Angels, 8.97. Boston against San Diego, 8.77, so the under. And that's it. There you have it. The Mets. I'll give you guys Cleveland, the Mets. But here's the thing. It's a doubleheader, and it just, I don't like giving numbers on double headers because people are going to say, well, was that for the first game or second game? See what I mean? It's and the thing why I don't bet double headers, there's too many miscellaneous things that, say that what happens if the start only goes 2 innings and the bullpen comes in and they're pitching, then for the second game, is that bullpen going to be, ready? The pinch hitters, it's just so much baseball in one day. Take the day off and live another day when you're betting those double headers. 8.06, so take it with a grain of salt. Either use it for the first game or second game, but atscalculator.com is where you want to go and check that out. Also, if you're a CFL fan, football's coming. Hey, don't look now, but preseason football tomorrow. And next week, in 2 weeks, we kick it off in the CFL. My previews are up. Go to CFL previews. All the teams are right there. And don't forget to join us live every Tuesdays and Thursdays right here on our YouTube channel. I give out the Raymond Report, Ron Raymond Sports Betting Podcast, and we go about an hour. We talk about the day's events. Have yourself a great fun day Sunday. I'll be back here on a Cash Out Monday. Cheers.